¿Cómo están? Hola, hola. ¿Cómo están? Back on. How many people had a hard time getting on second period? Yeah, it's a little messy. Here we are, back at it. I think everything's working again, so there's that. All right. Well, we're going to start out with some review today. So as you come to class, again, I'm hoping that you're getting in the habit of like getting all of your things that you use for class generally, like your notes and your folder and your Spanish notebook. You got to kind of keep yourself organized as you would coming into class, right? You need to have all of your things accessible from the last few days. So, for instance, there are 3 things that I would hope you would be bringing to class every day. Or if you have them on your computer, that's fine. Just open them so they're ready to go. Right? Your vocab list would be good. Your SARE notes would be good. And your adjective agreement notes would be good. Right? So, as you're coming to class and we're waiting for everybody to log on, just get in the habit of getting yourself organized, much like you would be if you walked in the door, right? You'd get out your Spanish binder, your folder, your stuff. So you'd be all organized and ready to go. So I would like to start today doing a little review, which is why I wanted you to have all those things out. If you've not yet gotten on your camera, here we go. Victoria, Abdullah, Unique. Try and get your camera on for me so I can see you're there. We're going to start with some review. So there are 2 things I want you to focus on for this review, and I'm going to actually put you in a breakout room very briefly so that you can try and help each other review and get on the right track before we go through it together. So here are my questions for you, and I'm going to put you in a group of probably like 3 or 4 people. And I want you to just take turns going through these things so that when I call on you, when you come back, you won't be like, huh? What are you talking about? I don't remember. Okay. So I want to know what the verb ser means. I want to know the 5 forms of ser that we use. Okay. Not going to worry about vosotros. And then I want you to talk about adjective agreement. And I want you to talk about what that means. What is it? What's an adjective? What's the agreement thing mean? Okay. And in terms of adjectives, there's kind of 2 parts there. One is what does that agreement part mean? And then the other thing I want you to refresh on is where does it go? How is the order different than it is in English? All right. So just going to give you a minute or 2 to talk that through in a little group. So when you get there, please unmute. If you don't know your people, be like, hey, I'm Miss Silverly. Hey, I'm Kira. Hey, I'm Jacob. All right. And then just take turns reviewing those 2 topics so that we can go through them together. That will be your first, those will be the topics of your first quiz next week. And there'll be some kind of vocab embedded there too, but it'll specifically be over those. So let's make sure we're reviewing what they mean and how to deal with them. All right, so I'm going to make it right now. So you have, I'm going to say 3 or 4 people in your group. Okay, so go ahead and unmute, join your breakout room, do a quick review with each other, and then we'll come back together in like 2 minutes. So I'm not going to give you very long. All right, ready, go. Let's talk about the verb ser. So I want to know what it means and when I use it. So let's see. All right, Elijah, start us off.
Oh, sir means to be, and I don't even know when to use it. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so that's fine. You got the first part. You got to be. So somebody else explain it. Like the idea is there's 2 to be's. So we got to use this one when, Reddick?
Like permanent, like a permanent situation.
Permanent things like I am Miss Silverly, you are Elijah, he is from Indianapolis, we are tall, we are short, things that kind of don't change that often, right? And I kind of clarify that because, of course, a star is the other one that means to be, and that's used for more your feelings and your location. Great. Okay, so now let's talk about what those forms look like. Could somebody give me the yo, to, and el form of ser? What do those first 3 forms look like? Deja.
Yo soy and tú eres and ella and él es.
Perfecto, right? Yo soy, tú eres, él es. All right, somebody want to give me the last two? What goes with nosotros and what goes with ellos? Let's see. Oh, your name's not popping up. Is it? Oh gosh, I'm not quite there yet. I kind of want to guess Victoria. Is that right? Oh, wow. Let's put her on the spot there. I don't know why your name's not popping up. Go ahead, Victoria.
Nosotros somos and ellos son.
Good. Nosotros somos and ellos son. All right, I'm going to go through them and then we're going to move on to adjectives. So I want you to repeat them. I don't care if you unmute, but if you unmute, then I'll hear you. If you stay muted, I will see your mouth moving. All right. So let's run through them real quick. Yo soy. Tú eres.
Yo soy, tú eres,
Okay. LS.
LS,
Okay. I need to see your mouth moving if I can't hear you. Nosotros somos. And ellos son. Okay, so now we're refreshed on there. Hopefully you're starting to feel pretty good about that verb again. And now we're going to talk about adjectives. So let's start with the basics. What's an adjective? What's an adjective? I'll take a volunteer until you've gone today, and then I'll start picking on people. Bryson, what's an
word that describes a noun?
Sorry, let me call on people, otherwise it gets confusing. Thank you, though. But go ahead, Bryson.
A word that describes a noun.
Okay, so it's a describing word, right? Tall, short, fun, boring, interesting, those kinds of words. Okay, so what is, when we talk about adjectives, we talk about they have to agree in number and gender. So what does that mean? Somebody want to start off by talking about either the number or the gender part? What are we talking about there? What are we talking about? Bryson, I appreciate the hand, but you just went. Somebody else has to step up here or I'll call on them. Who wants a point? Don't forget, I write down every time you talk. Get points. My question is, what does adjective agreement mean? What do we have to do? Noah, I don't know if you're up or not, but it kind of saw your hand, so go for it.
You mean like the numbers?
So like, what does that mean?
I mean, if like there's like multiple people or things, you gotta add like a S or like ES or whatever.
Yep, that's exactly what I mean. So when we say things have to agree in number, you have to look at if it's one thing or many things, right? So in English, the word happy doesn't change. In Spanish, it does. If you're talking about one person that's happy, he is contento. If you're talking about a bunch of people that are happy, they are contentos, right? They are grandes. They are jóvenes. So we got to make it plural. All right, so what's the gender thing? Tegan.
It's like masculine or feminine, so you have to add like an O or an A to the end.
Yep. Okay, if it starts with an O in the first place, then it can be made feminine, okay? So if I'm talking about myself, right, I'm simpatica, I'm alta, I'm baja, okay? Those words change. Now there's some, if it doesn't end with an O, it doesn't change. I'm inteligente, but that doesn't change. So you just have to be careful. If it doesn't end with an O, you can't change it. On the other hand, I didn't say this yesterday, but it's actually in one of your homework questions. So let me say this now. Everybody listen. Oh, it's in one of my homework questions. Listen. Some words end in ista, like deportista is like an athlete, someone that does deportes. If it ends with ista, it does not ever change, okay? You can't make it isto. So if you're an athlete, whether you're a boy or a girl, you are a deportista, okay? You can make it plural, but if it already ends in A, you can't make it masculine, all right? Just a little thing to stick in the back of your head. Okay, last thing I want to review with adjectives is where they go. Somebody want to remember yesterday I had my orange paper. I don't have my orange paper today. What's the order look like in Spanish when you're using an adjective?
Isn't it the, I can't remember which one. Like, I know it's subject and like, what's to call it? it's different. Like if we said the red apple, but it's apple red.
Perfect. You said
Yeah.
it. Yep. You just switched the order. So in English, we say red apple. In Spanish, you'd say apple red. Perfecto. That's exactly what I was talking about. Okay. Sounds good. So that's kind of all the things we've been working on grammatically. And then at the same time, we're kind of working on vocab and you're using your Quizlet cards and you're going through those when I give you time in class. Like last night, your homework was to get on Quizlet and practice your flashcards. Again, I'm not there to look over your shoulder. If you didn't do it, then do it today, right? Every time you go through those cards, you're going to be more familiar with them. And then when I ask you to do an activity, you're familiar with the words. When I put words on a quiz, you already know them, okay? So please make sure you are keeping up with that Quizlet. It's always good to spend just 10 minutes, flip through the flashcards. If you kind of know them, then do some of the games, do some of the activities, all right? So again, that was supposed to be homework last night. If you didn't take care of that, then make sure you stick it on your agenda today. All right, what I would like to do now is a little listening activity with you. So I am gonna kind of give you what you need. The only thing you're gonna need in a minute is some paper so you can jot down some true and false, all right? So ideally, you've got your Spanish notebook that I've been harping on about right next to you. If not, find any piece of paper will do. You can honestly have just a scrap piece of paper here. And I'm gonna screen share with you so you don't need to go to your, it's from your textbook, but you don't need to pop that up. You can just look on my screen. Not sure what happened there. Okay, let's try that again. Oh, I see what happened. Okay. So this is just not the page I want. Give me a sec here. It's this one. Nope. This one. Okay. So you have to be able to see my screen here because I'm going to show you kind of some directions here and then let you have a minute to read. So at some point, you'll probably see me assign an activity like this. So let's kind of go through it so you know what to look for. So the first thing you obviously need to do is read the directions, okay? Today I'm going to read them to you and you see if you know what to do. So it says, lee esta descripción de dos chicas latinoamericanas. Luego escribe los números del 1 al 6 en una hoja de papel. Escucha las frases y escribe C si la información es cierta y F si es falsa. All right, so your first job is to understand the directions, okay? So if you're looking at that and you're looking for context clues here, you can see what's coming. There's a little paragraph of some info here. You can look for keywords like lee and escribe números 1 al 6 en una hoja de papel. Then escucha, escribe C, cierta, F, falsa. So you kind of hit the highlights there. If you don't understand every word, that's fine. But you should be able to get the gist of what you need to do. So who would like to tell me what is the gist of what you need to do here? Somebody hasn't gone yet today. Please volunteer or I'll pick on you. What's the gist of what we have to do here? Abdullah.
Aren't we supposed to listen to some phrases and determine whether they're true or false?
Yep. The only other thing you need to get on there is first you have to lee esta descripción. What do you have to do down here?
Or read the description.
Right. So first you got to read. Okay. Then you're going to listen and then you're going to decide true or false. Exactly. So hopefully that was what you got from there. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop talking for a minute so you can actually read in peace. And here's what you're reading. What I would always do before I read is I would look at the picture, go, oh, okay, some school kids. Then I'd look at maybe the overview here, nombres, edades, residencia, como son, and amigos. So maybe I'm gonna get some information about these girls. And then I would actually start reading. As you read, and I promise I'll stop talking in a minute. As you read, make sure that you are picking out main ideas in your head. You're thinking, okay, what's probably important here? If you don't understand a word, doesn't matter. What are the big things? What do I need to know about these people? Okay, I'm going to pause talking and you read. if you have finished your first read through, then I'd scan again and go, okay, what are the most important things? What do I think these questions are going to be about? That's a great way to prepare, especially if it's a quiz or a test. What's she probably going to ask me about here? And if you're still reading the first time, then keep reading the first time. All right, can you give me a little wave if you feel like you're ready to do the listening? Give me a little wave. All right, seen about half of you. Give me a little wave if you could use another 30 seconds or a minute. Okay, I give it 30 seconds. Read through one more time, look at the highlights, think about what I'm gonna ask you. All right, let's try this. So we already know how many questions there are because it said uno hasta seis. And we know we're just writing say, cierto or fe falso. They will read the question 2 times. I always give it to you twice, whether you're in class, whether it's practice, whether it's a quiz. I always play things twice because sometimes you just miss it the first time. If you are not sure, then take an educated guess. Think about what you did hear, what you did understand, and go back and look at the text, right? It's all right there. All right, here we go. Everybody should have a pencil in your hand, ready to jot these down. I'm not there to micromanage you. You got to just do this because you know that you need to do it. And if you don't practice, then when it comes time to actually turning stuff in and quizzes and tests with me, you're going to have a problem. So practice while you can. All right, here we go.
Alicia y Carmen tienen 18 años.
Okay, you're going to repeat the same thing again. This is still number 1.
Alicia y Carmen tienen 18 años.
Okay, so give it some thought, jot it down. I'm not going to pause in between each one. Go back and look at the text if you need to. Give us your best answer. Here comes dos.
2. Alicia es de Puerto Rico y Carmen es de Cuba. Alicia es de Puerto Rico y Carmen es de Cuba.
3. Alicia es poeta. Alicia es poeta.
4. Carmen es muy sociable. Carmen es muy sociable.
5. A Carmen no le gusta escuchar los poemas de Alicia. A Carmen no le gusta escuchar los poemas de Alicia.
6. Los amigos de las jóvenes son negativos y serios. Los amigos de las jóvenes son negativos y serios.
All right. So what do you think? How many people are feeling like you got probably most of them? You'd say half or more? Half or more? How many people are feeling like, maybe like half-ish? Around 3-ish. Okay. How many people think, nah, didn't work out for me? You don't have to say it if you don't want to. So here's the idea. The idea is, in my mind, obviously, if you can get all of them, awesome. But if you can get most of them, that's probably where you need to be. All right. So we would like you at least to get 3. And if you're having a hard time, my number 1 thing with listening is probably I'm gonna say vocab. Okay. Spend more time on Quizlet. Think about it. If you know what all these words mean, suddenly the listening's a lot easier. If you don't know what they mean, you still might be able to work it out. But that's kind of my best tip for you there. Okay, so actually, I guess what I'll do is I'll go through them and I want you to kind of give me the gist of why you picked your answer. And I'll even say it one more time. It's not verbatim, but it was close. So número uno was something along the lines of tienen 18 años, or las chicas tienen 18 años. So you got to tell me true or false, and or cierto or falso, and tell me why. What does that mean? All right, Whitney, starts off.
I said cierta,
Uh-huh.
and it was basically saying that they both are 18.
Yeah, right. And I can kind of show you on here. Look, it's right there. Tienen 18 años. Good, cierto. All right, dos. Said something along the lines of Alicia es de Puerto Rico y Carmen es de Cuba. What do you think about that one? Looking for some new hands. Thanks, Abdullah. Just wait. Let me see. Quentin, go ahead.
Alicia is Puerto Rican and Cuban.
And Carmen's Cuban. So is that true?
Yes.
You sure? Look right here. Where are they actually from?
Oh, never mind. Santiago and whatever that's called.
Right, that's their city, but República Dominicana is the country there. So you absolutely translated it right. You just gotta look for the answer there. So that would be falso because they're República Dominicana, right? That's where they're from. All right, Trace, something along the Alicia. Alicia es una poeta. Alicia es una poeta. All right, I'm gonna start picking on you. I want some of you to get some points. How about Jalen?
Which one? Number 2.
Number 3, Alicia es una poeta. Oh, there you go. What do you think, Jalen?
Falso?
Okay, what am I asking about there? What do you think? She is what's poeta sound like?
Poet?
So look at this sentence right here. You see my screen? What's that say?
Yep.
So is she a poet?
Es uno. That's cierto. Yes,
There you go. Right? You see it now? So that's going to be true, right? She's a poet. Now, even if you didn't know what the word poet is, gosh, does poeta look a lot like poet? So you just assume that that is what it is. Okay, gracias.
Yeah.
How about número 4? Said Carmen es sociable. Carmen es sociable. What are you thinking, Kira? Carmen es sociable.
False.
Okay, what does it mean?
I don't know.
What's sociable sound like in English?
Sociable?
Yes. Okay, so scan through right here. Look, where do you see something about her being or not social?
Cierta?
Do you see it now?
Yeah.
Right, she's very social. And there's that word deportista I was talking about. Athletic, remember that cannot be made masculine. Okay, how about número 5? A Carmen no le gusta escuchar los poemas. A Carmen no le gusta escuchar los poemas. So find the part about listening to poems and tell me what you think. Jacob.
Is it cierto?
No.
No.
Tell me what it's saying. What's the idea there?
That she isn't like poetic or like likes to speak. Or talk.
Okay, you're close. Okay, that would probably be right, actually. But look at, do you see where I'm pointing with my pointer? Can you see that?
Yeah.
All right, so look, it says le gusta escuchar. She likes to listen to whose poems?
Alicia.
Alicia, right. So although she doesn't write poems, she likes to listen to them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be falso, right? Because she does like to.
Yeah.
All right, how about last one? Los amigos son negativos y serios. Negativos y serios. What are you thinking, please? Haley. Haley got on mute. I don't know if
What
you
was the sentence again?
the last one. So it said, los amigos son negativos y serios. So look at the part about the amigos here down at the bottom. What do you think? Son serios y negativos?
False.
Good. It's false, right? Because they're not what serios sound like, Haley.
Serious.
And negativo.
Negative.
Yeah, and right here it says actually they're graciosos. They're quite funny. And they're nice. They're simpaticos. And then it says we don't have time for negative people. Okay, so going back to it. How'd you do? Did you get your 3 or better? Hopefully. If not, that's something you need to keep working on. All right. Okay, so we are going to transition here. I want to give you some time here, the last 10, 15 minutes of class, to look at an assignment in your textbook. It's called Es Buenos Son Buenos. So let me just give you the gist of it, and then you can sign off if you understand how to access your textbook. Now, the last one I did not actually count for points because it was kind of just figuring out how to get to the textbook and access it and submit things. But this time I am going to make sure that you did it and give you some points for it. So if you understand how to get to the textbook through the portal, through Pearson, you can see that I assigned you something today called Es Buenos Son Buenos. Okay, it has to do with adjective agreement. You are welcome to sign off of this Zoom and go do your work. If you need help getting to the textbook, please stay on and I will help you get there.
Miss Silverly.
Yeah.
I have a question about the assignment yesterday. What was it? Like the homework assignment?
Homework from yesterday. Now, you can always go back and just check my current lesson, right? Well, you could have. Now it's under just the assignments from yesterday. It was just to spend some time on Quizlet.
Oh yeah.
Okay. But like I said, it's always go back under assignments and you can look for the date and see what you've missed or if you forget something, okay?
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
No problems.
Today's assignment, the August 14th.
Today's the 13th.
It says 14th.
What, did I post the wrong thing? Is that what you mean?
No, it says the Es Buenos Son Buenos, but it just says.
Oh, that's when it's due. So I made it due tomorrow, probably.
Oh, okay.
Okay. What else? If you're not there, let me know. I can help you.
For this whole class, I could barely hear you because it kept cutting out. But what's it called? So what do we?